The U.S. House about flood insurance rates. The Republican-controlled House will vote to try and repeal flood insurance premiums from skyrocketing for thousands of people, not just here, all across the country. And Congressman Steve Scalise is joining us now with more on that. And for the longest time, the House was the problem in moving this legislation forward. You think you have the votes to get this done?
I do think we have the votes, Eric, and if you look, just a few weeks ago, House Speaker John Boehner had come out against bringing a bill to the floor that would reform flood insurance. President Obama even came out against these reforms, and so we've been working hard to build a bipartisan coalition to get this done regardless of, anybody in leadership that has any problems with this. We made more people understand just how devastating this is, not just to South Louisiana, but all across the country. Communities are starting to see that this would just kill the housing market in a lot of those states.
And for something that is this widespread, and it goes for dozens of states, anybody along coastal areas and some places along where you have big rivers, things like that, is Congress that brain dead to not get this?
Well, it seems that when you have big bills like this, these are unintended consequences. The problem you've got is that South Louisiana was the first place where FEMA came and started to show how they would implement the law. And of course, people started seeing that they would be paying $20,000, $25,000 a year for flood insurance, just totally unworkable, unaffordable for people.
Even people who had followed all the rules.
Even people who have followed all the rules. Said is, look, the federal government requires you to have flood insurance in certain areas. There's got to be an affordability component to this. The program has to be sustainable, but people have to be able to pay that bill. You shouldn't be able to force people out of their homes because you gave them a premium for their flood insurance that they can't afford to pay. And so what we've done is put reforms in place that have caps on the increases. There would still be increases, but they would be capped in a way that people could afford it. We'd restore the grandfathering component. So like you said, people who played by the rules, they would be able to keep their premium and continue to move forward. And even if you try to sell your home, this is a big problem we're seeing not just in South Louisiana but in other parts of the country. If you're trying to sell your home and someone knows they're going to have to pay $25,000 a year flood insurance premium, they're just not buying those houses. So we've got to fix all of those problems to get long-term stability.
And the Senate had passed a 4-year delay. You said that wasn't good enough. You wanted a delay, but then to extend things, so the grandfathering and things like that were a more permanent solution.
Right. If the best you can get is a delay, then that's better than nothing. But at the same time, we've got a lot of momentum right now. We've got a large coalition of members from all across the country, Republican and Democrat, that recognize we need to fix this problem. We ought to go and do everything we can to get it fixed right now, not to say we'll try to build this coalition again in 4 years. We're ready. We have our leadership. House Majority Leader Eric Cantor has been great in working with us to say, look, if you put this bill together in a way that actually solves the problem, we'll let you bring it to the floor. And now I think we've been working to get the votes to pass.
Yes or no, will this pass?
It'll pass this week.
And if it goes to the House, goes back to the Senate, you think it'll pass there too?
I think the Senate will pass this as well.
All right, Steve Scalise, thank you very much.